Alright, so Brandon's wanted to work on trying to figure out the Baron Bolo for a while. So I'm trying to give him like the best case options to allow him to figure out how to do the Bolo. And this is like, I think a lot of people go through this, and it takes a long time to really get the Baron Bolo down, but to also, understand the mechanics. And then when you finally get it down, you have to have all of these like contingencies in place because it never goes the right way. I mean, it's great if you do the Baron Bolo and then you immediately get the back. But 90% of the time when I do the Baron Bolo, it turns into either a sweep, it turns into me coming to mount, it turns to me coming into a leg drag, or getting on the back into having one hook but fighting for the other hook. So right now I'm trying to just teach Brandon. I don't necessarily would never do this in a competition, be in the like modified scarf hold or reverse scarf hold and put this position and then chase the back. But I felt like it was a really good drill for me to understand how to dive under my opponent. Like you can see that Brandon kind of keeps taking his hip to the wrong way. Instead of rolling under, he's kind of like going over. But keeping the right leg mechanics in there and making sure that you get comfortable at going under your opponent. The biggest thing is you got to get their hips in the air. I think the biggest struggle that people have when doing the Bolo is getting their hips in the air. Like I want my opponent's butt on my stomach. And I feel like if I have my opponent's butt on my stomach, or at least if their hips are off the ground, then I can keep chasing the back, or I can keep chasing a position. And if they can get their hips to the ground, it really makes things a lot more difficult. So those are kind of things that I'm looking for while I'm doing the Baron Bolo, or while I'm getting it off someone's chasing my back. Those are the things that I'm kind of looking for to make sure that I'm making things more difficult. But this is a good, safe position. It teaches you how to keep your hips connected to your opponent. It teaches you how to keep very well, he keeps wanting to turn his hips over instead of rolling under. And that's why this drill is like so important, so that he starts learning the mechanics. I used to do a drill where like I would start in the back and I would go to an arm bar, and then from the arm bar I would go to like the Bolo series and chase the back again. And basically it was just like arm bar, back chase, arm bar, back chase. And so now I'm just trying to explain to Brandon like the mechanics of this is how you roll under. You're trying to come up on the shoulder. You're trying to go under their butt, come up on the shoulder. That's basically what we're discussing. And I think this is the most important thing. Drilling is important, but communicating exactly what you're drilling, or exactly what a movement feels like, or exactly where the pressure is so crucial. Like when you're drilling with your partner, to make things as realistic as possible, you've got to explain to them like, look, it doesn't feel like there's any pressure on my leg, or it doesn't feel like you really have control of my hip, or it doesn't, it feels like I can just scoot out. And if there is, you have to tighten those things up. In one of my other videos, we're doing straight arm bars, and I'm explaining like if anything's loose, they're just gonna circle their arm out. And the same thing here, like if you're chasing the back and you're not staying really tight and you're not the first to get right under them, they're gonna start chasing your back. And then it gets a really scary battle. Like just like the Kimura, just like the Baron Bolo, there's times when the positions can be reversed. And that's why it's important that your timing, your drilling, your confidence in the technique is there, because if all things are even, whoever's got that better timing and all the things, they're gonna probably come out in a better position than you. I've always said to my students, if you've drilled whatever the move is, right, less than your opponent's drilled the counter, you're probably not going to hit the move, right? So like if I've drilled 500 triangles, but my opponent's drilled 5,000 triangle defenses, it's going to be really hard for me to finish that triangle. And that's why I put so much emphasis and so much time into drilling, into communicating, into trying to feel like, okay, this is the right thing, this is the wrong thing. Right now I'm trying to control I'm trying to explain basically, like you'd call this the truck position, and explaining to Brandon how to control this position, how to maintain it, because this position right here, a lot of times when I chase the back, is where I end up. And now the fight, the hand fight, the position fight kind of takes place here, and it's important that you win that battle. And I'm trying to explain to him exactly how to come up in the leg drag, and of course not put his leg into a position to get into leg locks, but to hide his foot, how to bring his knee up, how to cover the hip when you come up so that you make sure you get the position. And then from there you can start to again chase the back, go for the arm triangle, just come up into side control. Those are all things that you need to again have a plan of what direction you're going.